Hi, welcome to Metro Vancouver Close-Up for June 2017. We have news about a public works celebration, barn owls, and EV charging updates. Public works crews are essential to cities. They design, construct, and operate water mains, pump stations, roads, bridges, parks, storm sewers, and waste collection, to name just a few. And each May, the City of Richmond recognizes them in style. The City of Richmond recently opened the gates to its public works yard for an event that's become a community classic.
Today is the open house for the Public Works Yard here in Richmond. And we want to educate and inform the people of our city and around the region as to what makes a city tick. Everything that you see, feel, touch, and walk on, that's what consists of public works. From the drainage to the roads to the sewers to the parks, all those kinds of systems. It's the foundation of a healthy, livable city.
Live music, craft stations, and locally produced treats were on offer, as well as free giveaways of the city's own recycled topsoil, and a chance to look under the hood of Richmond's latest emissions reduction initiative.
We're required by 2020 to reduce our emissions by 20%. So we looked at a bunch of data that we have. We found that probably the best way to reduce the emissions, an easy way to do it, would be to cut down on the idling time. We were able to cut down our emissions and we got Platinum Fleet certification, and we're quite happy with this because we're the only ones in Canada that has done this.
Many dedicated staff volunteered their time to give citizens an immersive encounter with the wild world of public works.
Anything inside of your house goes into the sanitary system. So if you want to guys come up here.
They volunteer their time. They're proud of the work that they do, just like I'm extremely proud of the stuff that they do for the city, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, we've got a problem. Have you guys ever seen that?
Metro Vancouver knows a thing or two about backed up sewer pipes also. Their staff spent the afternoon informing the public about the regional district's latest Unflushables campaign.
Only toilet paper. It's the only thing you can put down your toilet.
Richmond's unique geography requires the system maintain a robust drainage system.
Richmond is basically a meter above sea level, and historically it's a floodplain made up of materials brought down the river. Being in that kind of a situation, we have the river all around us, we have the ocean to the west. We have to be very mindful of the danger of flooding. And so there isn't an hour in any day of the year that we're not monitoring and controlling the situation in relation to drainage and the dike system.
It takes more than just concrete and steel to keep Richmond's infrastructure in tip-top shape. It's the heart and dedication of hard-working staff, like the public works crews, that are the real foundation of this vibrant municipality. Most electric vehicle charging takes place at home, and that can be a challenge in apartments, which are about half of all housing choices in the region. It is getting easier, though, with a new information source, a sporty rental option, and guidelines to increase charging access in North Vancouver. Charging stations are being installed for this new EV rental business. It's part of the growing popularity of electric vehicles in Metro Vancouver.
It's quickly grown over the years exponentially, and we see it becoming a large part of our business. This is a good example of some of the load management technology, actually. If he plugs in two vehicles, then it actually splits that charge.
No gas required, just plug it in, you feel G-force, and it's just amazing.
Perhaps less flashy, but functional, is the direction of several Metro Vancouver municipalities to improve access to charging for future condo and apartment residents.
We looked at where our greenhouse gases are being produced. We found that about 50% of the GHGs are from transportation.
We've amended our sustainable development guidelines to encourage developers to have access to level 2 charging for 20% of the residential parking stalls in any given residential building. So there's enough electrical supply, there's the circuitry and everything needed so that you can install a charger in the future.
They are also encouraging developers to size electrical rooms large enough to accommodate additional future electric panels, enough to service all parking stalls.
Often the ability to retrofit a building is limited by the space in the actual electrical room.
Another improvement on the EV landscape is this resource for EV users, strata councils, and property managers.
We talk a bit about the technology itself, about the charging technology, about what the different levels are, the different power options. I think a lot of stratas are approached by members who live in those buildings asking for access to charging.
Some buildings charge a flat rate. Other buildings put in revenue grade meters where they can actually read exactly what is used.
We go into all sorts of details about when to bring certain resolutions to annual general meeting for voting. We walk through both the technical and some of the process and legal. People might not be familiar with it.
What we're hearing from developers is that it's something that they're quite interested in, and they see that it's potentially meeting a market demand.
If we want to reach our greenhouse gas targets by about 2030, 50% of sales of new vehicles need to be electric, plug-in ready.
Municipalities share their information readily, and we really appreciate that. The City of Vancouver has shown leadership in Richmond. Here on the North Shore, both the city and the district are having this requirement to have electrical vehicle charging stations in multifamily buildings. So we're all working this together.
The City of Richmond has an innovative district energy facility that draws energy from the ground, and now it's providing a second sustainable service: nesting boxes for barn owls. A study has outlined how vehicle collisions and habitat loss are affecting these birds. We met with the lead researcher at Richmond's other nesting site, Terra Nova Park.
They've been living here for 100 or so years, and they really utilise the grass fields and the habitats that were created when the first settlers started performing agriculture. Terra Nova is actually a destination resort for barn owls, so we have a lot of new barn owls coming in, as well as the barn owls that are staying here.
We're lucky that it is a species that actually has been able to learn to coexist with us, and as long as we're able to give it a little bit of green space, a place to live.
The idea was just to offer barn owls an alternative nesting habitat. They naturally nest in holes in trees and also in old buildings.
In late 2016, this City of Richmond building on Audlin Road became the latest location for barn owl nest boxes, bringing the city's total to 12. The energy comes from here, where 390 closed wells each extend 250 feet below the surface. The Earth's warmth is drawn into them and carried by a fluid that loops through to this control center, then out to neighborhood condominiums.
It's a whole new way of doing business, and it's a great step forward for the community, and it feels great to be doing something that's having a global beneficial impact as well.
Welcome to Terra Nova Park. Tonight you're in for a real treat. You're going to get a chance to get up close and personal with a family of barn owls.
I plug the hole with a towel that's got a rope wrapped around it. Then I go up and I take one down at a time. We put a little bag on their head just to kind of calm them down a bit because they're slightly surprised. Put a little band on it, a unique identifier, and then we carefully put them back up again, one by one. The banding is a way to keep track of the population.
It's really just trying to spark that initial interest in nature. A lot of people have no idea of the different wildlife and animals that live in their neighbourhood.
Thanks to all our participants, and thanks to you for watching. See more videos on the Metro Vancouver website, Metro Vancouver blog, Facebook page, and YouTube channel. That's all for the June 2017 edition. Take care, everyone. I'm Dagmar Timmer.